No. Welcome in. I've got CNN pulled up right now. We're gonna be looking at Casey Anthony trial fast facts. And probably a few other little, just see what different websites are saying about her, and I'm also gonna be pulling up where she's been at up until this point. So yes, we are talking about Casey Anthony again today. If you are new, you don't know who Casey Anthony is. I just found out about her yesterday. She apparently was accused of unaliving and murdering her 2-year-old daughter. I've heard somebody else say she was 3. So we're just gonna say her daughter. And using chloroform and duct tape to do so, and then placing her body into a trash bag, or I've heard different stories. I've heard laundry bag, I've heard trash bag, and dumping her body in the woods. I've also heard that, she was dismembered. They had to put her skull back together or something. There wasn't no official cause of death. Alright, dude. From what I could see. And she was acquitted on all counts. The only thing that she was found guilty for was lying to the court. So we're just gonna jump right into this. So it says, in July of 2008, police in Orange County, Florida, received a call that led to one of America's most high-profile criminal cases, the disappearance and death of a 2-year-old Caylee Anthony, and the question of whether her mother, Casey Anthony, was involved. Editor's note says, this page has been retired and is no longer being updated. Here is a look at Casey Anthony trial of 2011. Anthony was accused of killing her 2-year-old daughter in 2008. August 9th, 2005, Casey Anthony, age 19, gives birth to a daughter, Caylee Marie Anthony. The identity of Caylee's father has not been publicly revealed. June 16th of 2008, Caylee is reportedly seen alive for the last time. July 15th, 2008, Casey's mother, Cindy Anthony, reports that Caylee is missing. July 16th of 2008, Anthony is arrested for child neglect, giving false statements, and obstruction. She tells police her daughter vanished after she left her with a babysitter named Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez, who has also disappeared. And I'll get into that babysitter later. That babysitter actually is a real babysitter and has been arrested for credit card fraud in the past, and has attempted to sue Miss Anthony. July 17th, 2008, officers searched Anthony's car, and a cadaver dog picks up the scent of human decomposition. August the 27th of 2008, authorities say an air sample test from Anthony's car indicated that there were human remains in the trunk. October 14th, 2008, a grand jury indicts Anthony on capital murder and other charges. She pleads not guilty. December 11th of 2008, skeletal remains are found in a wooded area near the Anthony home by a utility worker. December 19th, 2008, authorities announced the remains have been identified as Caylee Anthony. April 13th, 2009, prosecutors say they will seek the death penalty, reversing an earlier decision not to pursue capital punishment. April 2010, the original judge assigned to the case Stan Strickland recuses himself and is replaced by Judge Belvin Perry Jr. I have seen where some people say by them reversing it may have ultimately given her the not guilty. I've seen people say they had just continued to pursue her for capital punishment instead of doing, the death penalty. Then, I don't know. May 9th, 2011, jury selection begins. May 24th, 2011, the prosecution and defense deliver opening statements in an Orlando courthouse. June 6, 2011, forensic expert Arpad Voss testifies that the only plausible explanation for the odor in Anthony's car trunk is the presence of a decomposing human body. June 9th of 2011, Anthony becomes ill and Judge Perry calls the court into recess for the day. June 15th, 2011, the prosecution rests. June 30th of 2011, the defense rests. Anthony does not testify. July 5th of 2011, the 7 women and 5 men of the jury deliberate for 10 hours and 40 minutes before coming back with a verdict of not guilty of first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, and aggravated manslaughter of a child. Anthony is then found guilty of 4 misdemeanor counts of providing false information to law enforcement. July 7th of 2011, Anthony is sentenced to 4 years in jail with credit for time served. She is also fined $1,000 for each count. July 17th of 2011, Anthony is released from jail. August the 11th of 2011, a report is then released by Florida's Department of Children and Families concluding that Anthony is responsible for the death of her daughter. The report says the actions or the lack thereof actions by the alleged perpetrator ultimately resulted or contributed in the death of the child. September 15th of 2011, Judge Perry rules that Anthony owes authorities nearly $98,000 for the costs of investigating Kaylee's disappearance. Days later, he orders her to pay an additional $119,822.25 to the police, bringing the total to more than $217,000. June the 12th of 2012, in an exclusive interview with CNN, Anthony tells host Piers Morgan that she did not unalive Kaylee and says, "I've never been a party girl. I don't drink now. I've probably had a handful of beers since I've been on probation. The caricature of me that is out there, it couldn't be further from the truth." January 25th of 2013, an appeals court throws out 2 of Anthony's convictions for providing false information to law enforcement. The same day as the ruling, Anthony files for Chapter 7 bankruptcy protection. She claims to have almost $800,000 in liabilities with just $1,000 in assets, including cash on hand and personal property. So yeah. That is what the CNN, the Casey Anthony trial fast facts state. Now we do have her biography as well. So we're going to read on her biography a little bit. You are free to chime in and, make your opinions on the matter since she has resurfaced and on TikTok nonetheless. Also, for those of you who are currently being affected by the South Carolina, North Carolina wildfires or the storms and tornadoes that are hitting numerous places today, I hope you guys are safe. Make sure you drink plenty of water and stay safe, please. Casey Anthony. Having been the center of a sensational murder trial, Casey Anthony is best known for her connection to the mysterious 2008 disappearance of her daughter, Caylee. Who is Casey Anthony? Casey Anthony stepped into the national spotlight after the suspicious disappearance of her daughter, Caylee Anthony, in June of 2008. As her story unfolded, which included a tumultuous family life, an array of deceptions and criminal conduct, many believed she was unquestionably guilty. The jury, however, felt differently due to evidence considered by them to be circumstantial. Anthony was acquitted of the murder charge in 2011, but she found herself loathed by the general public. Born on March 19th of 1986 in Warren, Ohio, Anthony was one of the two children of Cindy and George Anthony, with George having worked in law enforcement. Anthony was a bright, personable young girl with friends, and what many thought was an ordinary American family. However, friends say that a pattern of lying began when Anthony was in high school. Cindy and George attended Anthony's graduation along with Anthony's grandparents, only to discover that she was several credits short of graduating. Anthony had stopped attending classes toward the end of the school year, but led her family to believe she would be walking with a graduating class. When she was 19, Anthony gave her family yet another shock. She had put on weight, and her parents suspected that she was pregnant. Anthony denied it, claiming she was a virgin. Months into her pregnancy, she told her parents the truth. The identity of the baby's father, however, remained a mystery. Anthony pointed to different men, including her fiancé, Jesse Grund, as well as a young man she had dated previously who had died in a car crash. On August the 9th of 2005, Caylee Anthony was born. A friend of Anthony's said that she had discussed giving the baby up for adoption, but was discouraged by her mother. For the next few years, Anthony and Caylee lived with her parents, and Grund acted as the baby's father. Grund even believed Caylee might be his baby, despite knowing that the timing of her conception made it improbable. A DNA test would later find that Grund was not Caylee's father. The identity of Caylee's father remains unknown. In mid-June 2008, with her suitability as a mother called into question by Cindy, Anthony left her parents' home after a major argument, taking Caylee with her. Over the ensuing weeks, Cindy called her daughter to check on Caylee. Each time Anthony told her the little girl was out with a babysitter, Zenaida Zanny Fernandez Gonzalez. On July 13, 2008, Cindy and George received a letter saying that Anthony's car was in a tow yard. When George went to pick the car up, he found Anthony's purse along with Caylee's car seat and toys. George noticed a strong smell, like that of organic matter decomposing, coming from the trunk. Alarmed, Cindy found Anthony at the home of her boyfriend, Tony Lazaro, and brought her home. Anthony broke down, telling her mother and brother Lee that she had left Caylee with the nanny, Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez, in Orlando on June 16th, and that Gonzalez had kidnapped the toddler. On July 15th, 31 days after 2-year-old Caylee's disappearance, Cindy reported her missing to the Orange County Sheriff's Office. After questioning Anthony, detectives found discrepancies in a signed statement she made about Caylee's disappearance. Anthony's friends and family had never heard of Gonzalez, and detectives later discovered that, in fact, there was no nanny. The investigators caught Anthony in another lie when she told them she worked at Universal Studios. Even leading them around the theme park, Anthony finally admitted she had never returned to work for Universal. She was arrested on July 16th. As the search for Caylee intensified, Anthony came under increasing scrutiny for her actions in the days before Caylee was reported missing, including partying and, in early July, getting a tattoo that reads Bella Vita, or Beautiful Life, in Italian. Anthony returned home on August 21st when bounty hunter reality TV figure Leonard Padilla posted $500,000 in bail. Padilla hoped Anthony would lead detectives to find Kaylee, but he was disappointed when she failed to provide additional clues. Padilla labeled Anthony narcissistic and promiscuous, fueling the fires of public sentiment against the young woman. The case became a national media sensation, and many in the public and the press were outraged at Anthony's behavior. Anthony was back in jail only 8 days after being released, this time charged with forging checks and identity theft. On December 11, 2008, meter reader Roy Kronk found a plastic bag of human remains in a wooded area near the Anthony's home. The skull had duct tape on it. On December 19th, the remains were confirmed to be those of Caylee Anthony. With prosecutors seeking the death penalty, the trial of Anthony began in June 2011, 3 years after the disappearance of her daughter, Kaylee. Cable news channels broadcast the trial live, and Anthony, Kaylee, and the rest of the family dominated the news. The prosecution painted a picture of Anthony as a promiscuous party girl, unconcerned with her missing daughter and responsible for her murder. A website about the toxic chemical chloroform had been searched on the Anthony's home computer, a search that Cindy took responsibility for on the stand, and chloroform was found in the trunk of Anthony's car. Anthony's defense, led by Jose Baez, with no attorney Sheenie Mason, working pro bono, told a very different story. According to the defense, Kaylee had drowned in the family's pool on June 16, 2008, and George Anthony had covered up the death so that Anthony wouldn't be charged with child neglect. Baez shocked the courtroom when he said during his opening statements that George had in fact SA'd Anthony beginning when she was 8 years old, and that her brother Lee had made advances towards her as well. A paternity test showed that neither Lee nor George Anthony was Kaylee's father. Anthony was used to cover up her hurt, Baez said. George denied the allegations. On June 30th, the defense rested. Anthony herself did not take the stand. On July the 5th, the jury found Anthony not guilty of first-degree murder, aggravated manslaughter, and aggravated child abuse, citing the mostly circumstantial evidence presented. She was found guilty on 4 counts of providing false information to law enforcement authorities, however, and thus sentenced to 4 years in jail and $4,000 in fines. 2 of the false information counts would later be thrown out in appeals court. Anthony ultimately received credit for time served and good behavior, having been in prison for 3 years and 1 day. She was released on July 17th. Anthony was also required to be on probation for a year due to check fraud charges that was ultimately billed with more than $200,000 owed to law enforcement related to the search for Kaylee. Many in the public and the media were outraged at the not guilty verdict, bringing comparisons to the trial of O.J. Simpson in 1995. The aftermath of the trial brought about a slew of bills in several states for Kaylee's law, which would make it a felony for a parent or legal guardian not to report a missing child. In 2012, Florida Governor Rick Scott signed a Kaylee's law bill. That's what my husband was saying too. It's believable. According to Mason, Anthony herself has lived a life of seclusion in her Florida home, wary of venturing into public due to festering reactions to the case. Having filed bankruptcy, she is estranged from her parents and keeps in contact with her former legal team. In the spring of 2017, Anthony gave a series of exclusive interviews to the Associated Press, claiming to this day she does not know how Kaylee died, and added, "I don't give a shit about what anybody thinks of me. I don't care about that. I never will. I'm okay with myself, and I sleep pretty good at night." The Associated Press described its interview with Anthony as revealing, bizarre, and often contradictory, and ultimately raised more questions than answers about the case. Anthony currently lives and works with Patrick McKenna, the private detective who led the investigation for her defense team. Some quick facts. Her name is Kathy Anthony. She was born 1986 on March 19th in Warren, Ohio, the United States. She's a female. She's best known for having been the center of a sensational murder trial. Casey Anthony is best known for her connection to the mysterious disappearance of her daughter, Kaylee. Her industries are crime and terrorism. Astrology sign is a Pisces. Now, I did tell you I was going to jump into, it is now again all over the news because she has resurfaced on TikTok. This is a picture from her TikTok. I told you I was going to tell you a little bit about the babysitter, how, the investigators couldn't locate the babysitter, so they assumed the babysitter or nanny, or lack thereof, was not real. However, Zenaida is a real person. And I will tell you why. We were watching YouTube last night, and it came up that the babysitter is real. She was just in hiding during the trial because she was scared that for her name, and she wound up getting arrested for, I believe it was credit card fraud, and that's how they found her. She was using someone else's credit card or something. So keep in mind that nanny also did have some criminal charges and a criminal background. So we are actually going to be looking up about Zenaida Gonzalez. And seeing what we can find. Oh my god. The cats. I'm so sorry. Here it is. Alright. What? Yeah. Woman who sued Casey Anthony has been accused of credit card theft. Kissimmee, Florida. The Florida woman who sued Casey Anthony for defamation has been accused of stealing a cancer patient's credit card and using it to spend $850 at stores around Kissimmee and Orlando. Osceola County Sheriff's Office spokeswoman Twiz Liza Swain tells news outlets that 45-year-old Zenaida Gonzalez and 26-year-old Jonathan E. Acquavado were each arrested Wednesday on charges of credit card theft and grand theft. Authorities say the suspects had jobs cleaning rooms at a Kissimmee motel in December when they stole a credit card belonging to a 64-year-old man who lived in the motel and had been visiting a hospital for cancer treatment. Gonzalez had recently filed a defamation lawsuit against Anthony in 2013, saying her reputation was smeared when Anthony told investigators a babysitter of the same name had kidnapped her 2-year-old daughter Kaylee, who was eventually found dead. The lawsuit was thrown out in September, and Anthony was acquitted of murder in her daughter's death. So keep that in mind that the lawsuit did get thrown out. So right there is the proof that the nanny did exist, A lot of people are under the impression that, there was no nanny. The nanny wasn't real, and that the nickname Zanny came from, Xanax. But the nanny was real. That's what a lot of people are, because the media, again, with the court and everything, they said pretty much that she wasn't real because they couldn't find her at the address.
All right, dude. Go trip over a knife.
But yeah, the nanny was in fact real. Where is Casey Anthony now? Inside her life, nearly 15 years after being acquitted of murder, and why she just joined TikTok. And why the f- is my cat meowing? In 2011, Casey Anthony was found not guilty of the murder of her 2-year-old daughter, Caylee Anthony. Excuse me. Okay. In July 2008, 2-year-old Caylee Anthony was reported missing by her grandparents. 3 months later, her mother was charged with her murder. The trial of Casey Anthony was one of the most widely watched criminal trials in history, according to Nelson Research. An estimated 40 million Americans tuned into the proceedings, and almost 100 million people across the globe watched the verdict be announced, per the New York Post. Though the jury determined that Casey was not guilty of murder, they did find her guilty of providing false information to authorities. The Florida mom received a 4-year sentence in July 2011 and was released shortly after. Casey has remained out of the public eye since her acquittal. She gave her first televised interview in 2022 Peacock docuseries titled Casey Anthony, Where the Truth Lies, and blamed her father for Caylee's death. Over a year later, George Anthony and Cindy Anthony took polygraph tests about their involvement in their granddaughter's death in an A&E and Lifetime special. Casey resurfaced again in March 2025 when she posted her first TikTok. In the 3-minute video, she described herself as a researcher and legal advocate and said her goal was to reintroduce herself. I feel that it's necessary, if I'm going to continue to operate as a legal advocate, that I start to advocate for myself and also advocate for my daughter, Casey said in the video. My goal is to continue to help give a voice to people, to give people tools and resources that they can utilize. She also promoted her Substack and said that she planned to communicate via email with her followers regarding her legal work. So where is Casey Anthony now? Here's everything to know about her life today. Casey Marie Anthony was born on March 19, 1986. She lived in Orlando, Florida with her parents, George Anthony and Cindy Anthony, when her 2-year-old daughter, Caylee Anthony, was reported missing in 2008. According to authorities, Casey left the family's home on June 16, 2008 with Caylee and didn't return for 31 days. After learning that Casey's car had been impounded, George went to retrieve the car, where he discovered a strong smell coming from the trunk. On July 15, 2008, Cindy called 911 and said she hadn't seen Caylee in 30 days. She also claimed that Casey's car smelled like a dead body and had been inside it. At the time, Casey claimed that she did not see Caylee in a month and that a babysitter named Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez may have kidnapped her. After lying to the police about her place of employment, Casey was arrested and charged with child neglect, making false official statements and obstructing an investigation on July 16, 2008, a day after her mother reported Caylee missing. She was later declared a person of interest in Caylee's disappearance on July 22nd and was charged with first-degree murder in October. Later that year, on December 11th, Caylee's skeletal remains were found in a wooded area near the Anthony family's home. Years later, on May 24, 2011, Casey's trial commenced in Orlando, Florida. In her lawyer, Jose Bay's opening statement, he claimed that Caylee drowned in the family swimming pool and that George sought to cover up the accidental death. He also alleged that George had molested Casey as a child, accusing her to develop a habit of lying. After about 2 months, closing arguments were given on July 3, 2011. 2 days later, the jury reached a verdict. Casey was found not guilty of first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, and aggravated manslaughter of a child. She was, however, found guilty of 4 misdemeanor counts of providing false information to a law enforcement officer. On July 7, 2011, Casey received a 4-year sentence and a $4,000 fine for the 4 counts of lying to police. She was released from jail shortly after on July 17th. Casey was released so quickly after her sentencing just 10 days later because she had amassed more than 1,000 credits of time served, as she had been incarcerated since her arrest in 2008, per the Orlando Sentinel. In March 2017, Casey gave her first interview since the trial to the Associated Press. In a series of articles, she admitted to lying to the police and spoke about the public's perception of her. Based off what was in the media, I understand the reasons people feel about me. I understand why people have the opinions that they do, she said. In December 2020, Casey filed papers to start her own private investigation business in South Florida, while her family told the media that she formed the business to investigate Kaylee's death. A source told People that wasn't true. That's a closed chapter in her life. The source says she's not starting a company to get answers about Kaylee. On November 29th, 2022, Casey told her side of the story in Peacock's docuseries Casey Anthony: Where the Truth Lies. Which marked her first televised interview in the 3-part docuseries. She made several bombshell accusations, including that she blames her father for Kaylee's death. He was standing there with her, she recalled in the docuseries. She was soaking wet. He handed her to me, said it was my fault that I caused it, but he didn't rush to call 911, and he was not trying to resuscitate her. I collapsed with her in my arms. She was heavy and she was cold. In January of 2024, George and Cindy appeared on a true crime reality show on A&E where they both took lie detector tests on camera while recounting their granddaughter's tragic 2008 death. In one clip, George denied that he knew Kaylee's whereabouts during the 6 months authorities were searching for his missing 2-year-old granddaughter. In another clip, Cindy said that she believes her daughter 100% knows what happened to Kaylee, and I kept hoping upon hope that she would confess, she continued moments before having a panic attack. And that's the only reason I put myself through all of her drama and everything. In 2025, Casey posted her first TikTok to promote her new Substack page dedicated to her work as a legal advocate. She's been active on that platform since February 2025. People are not only unaware of their rights, but most of the time they aren't even aware that they are giving them away so freely without consent. Casey wrote in one post, "Do you know who you would call today if something catastrophic occurred in your life or in the life of someone you care for?" Hello, how are you? I've seen where someone says she is currently live. There is 2 of the Casey Anthony Substack pages on TikTok. One is Casey Anthony _ Substack, and then the other one is Casey Anthony _ Substack 2, which was supposed to go live. They canceled the live. I got that notification this morning that they did cancel the live event of her going live. So I don't know if she's live or not. I would need someone to confirm. I'm on my laptop. I don't know if I can watch live videos. On my laptop or not, but I am going to go see. There we go. I'm not seeing where she's live at all. She's only following one person. Give me 1 second to log in, and I'll tell you who the one person is. She's literally just following her.
Alright, dude. Go trip over a knife.
184. She's following. Never mind. She has that list is private. So we don't know who the one person is that she's following. I'm going to assume it's the lawyer she works with. Her followers, apart from me, she's got 58.6 thousand followers. She has 2 videos, one from her Substack, that says it has been more than 16 years since. Okay. Is there a way to, like, pause this? There we go. There are many fake accounts in my name, in the name of my daughter, or simply to spread a boycott account. I have intentionally limited the public statements that I have made, my exposure to the media, my exposure to the world of social media, as we have all grown accustomed. My accounts have only ever been private. Today, my account goes live. Video content will be available by paid subscription. Public service information will be available on my profile here on Substack, and if shared to other accounts such as Mastodon or Blue Sky, will be directly linked. I am an advocate and researcher. I have spent the last decade and a half working in that capacity, and now, more than ever, people deserve to know what resources they can turn to and to be reminded that they still have rights. This is my only account posting original content. I have never had a public account before, nor have I interacted with the public on a public forum. I welcome you to join me, keep an open mind, and allow me to properly reintroduce myself. My name is Casey Anthony. And then there's another picture that says, it has been more than 16 years since my name became a household one. Everyone seems to have an opinion about me and my life. I am an advocate and a researcher, and then, whatever. And then someone named Carl Dunn had commented and said, the internet is making us hate people we don't even know. Log off, go out, talk to a real person. The world isn't as divided as they make it seem on screen. Reconnecting a divided world is what I write about every week here, and it's always free, so we can be. I believe there's a lot more to the story. I don't like her father. I got weird vibes from him. I don't know. I don't think we'll ever know what really happened, unless she says it. Now, if her father dies, I do have this weird suspicion that she will come forward with something. Only because we've seen it with so many other victims, that they're stuck in that victim mentality until the person who they have been victimized by passes away, and then they come forward and release a bunch of information. Now, she could technically come back and say she 100% did it, and she would not be jailed for it, because by law that would be double jeopardy. And so, since she was already found guilty of that, she could not be reconvicted of the same crime twice. So she can come forward and say, yes, I did this. If she really did do that, that would be the most respectful thing to do, is to come forward and say it. If she did do that. However, at this point, I believe there's too much information we do not have, that there's evidence that we do not have and probably will never have, because they can't reopen a case after, that I'm aware of. They cannot open a case like this. I do think there's a lot more to the story. I'm not going to say that I believe she did it. I'm not going to say that I don't believe she did it, but I am leaning more towards the fact that there's more to the story that meets the eye, and that media has been, and media is that is known to twist stories to make you kind of brainwash people into believing what, media is good at turning people against people. I don't believe she should be getting the death threats. I don't believe people should be, wanting to unalive her and stuff like that. That's just going too far. And in turn, those people doing that can be, they can do time for that. But I'm not going to say she did it. I'm not going to say she didn't do it. But if she did do it, she could literally come forward today and nothing would happen to her. Nothing. Because that double jeopardy.
Today is Saturday, March 1st, 2025. This is my first of probably many recordings on a series that I'm starting. I am a legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011. And in this capacity, I feel that it's necessary if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate that I start to advocate for myself and also advocate for my daughter. For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony. My daughter is Kaylee Anthony. My parents are George and Cindy Anthony. This is not about them. This is not in response to anything that they have said or done. That's not to say that I'm not going to respond at some point to some of the things that they have said and done. The whole point of this is for me to begin to reintroduce myself. I'm doing this both personally for me, but in a professional capacity. Moving forward, the majority of what you will see will be me speaking in a professional capacity. My goal is to continue to help give a voice to people, to give people tools and resources that they can utilize so they actually know where they can turn to. So with that, please join me on Substack. If you have questions, I will set up an email address where we can correspond directly. Up until this point, that has never happened. And it's only going to be on a limited basis regarding legal issues, legal matters. One of the main reasons that I'm doing this, there are people close to me who have been targeted and attacked recently. There are also people close to me who have had some recent things occur. And when necessary, people needed to step up, myself included. So as a proponent for the LGBTQ community, for our legal community, women's rights, I feel that it's important that I use this platform that was thrust upon me and now look at it as a blessing as opposed to the curse that it has been since 2008. With that, these aren't going to be perfect. They're not going to be edited. Most of the time, they're not going to be short. But I am proverbially standing in the light, embracing this piece, still going to keep my privacy intact, so you will get very comfortable with my car, and I will explain in great detail why it's so important for people to protect their privacy. It's not just important to public figures, it's even more important to private individuals. And with the current climate in our country especially, it's that much more important, which is why I am utilizing the Substack platform. Yes, I am advertising this and publishing this on TikTok, possibly also through other meta platforms, but my intention is to separate from that and showcase even more why Substack is such an important resource for people to utilize moving forward. Anyway, I appreciate your time, and we'll see how this goes.
All right. I do not see where she is live. I'm going to see if I can find that second account. Found it. So, apparently it says, I am trying to go live, but people are reporting my account. I am willing to tell my side of the story and answer any questions. I have made a comment to her. I said, I am live right now talking about you. If you would like to use my account, let's talk. She cannot go live. They got her suspended, I do believe. That they mass reported her live. I have just invited her to come to my live. Whether or not she comes over here, you know. I am waiting to see if she sees it and comes over here. I will keep you guys updated if she does take up that option. Since they did get her live suspended. We will see. You can go to the Casey Anthony 2, Casey Anthony _Substacks account on TikTok. It is her backup account. Comments are on. I did invite her to come over here.
Morning.
Morning.
You're back on Casey Anthony again today.
Yeah. She tried to go live.
Oh, did she?
They reported her account. So I have since invited her to my live. I'm just waiting for a response at this point. I'm also going to see if it'll let me message her.
It's okay for everybody else to go live, but as soon as Casey Anthony wants to go live, oh no, we can't have that. Freaking hypocrites. And I'm going after Christians about it too. People wearing crosses around their neck and spewing hate. Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, that box of food is gone. Oh, it's freaking hot. She's probably gonna be worried about who she actually responds to and stuff anyway. And rightly so, really. It's all the hate that she gets.
So I tried to message her. And it says this user is unable to receive your message due to this user's privacy settings. So you can't message her. But I did try to message her to invite her over here.
We'll go consider it.
And I'm going to tell you word for word what I told her. Hi, my name is Crystal Miller. Search me up. I have a whole Reddit against me. I am a known baby unaliver for pulling the plug on my child. I am live right now. If you want your side of the story to be told, please come and request the guest box. I am ready to listen. But it did not get sent because she doesn't allow messaging. Now it's saying that I can't follow her account. It looks like the account is now gone as well. I'm going to do a research. Yeah, the second account, the backup account is gone. I'm going to try to send a message to her main account and see if it goes through as well. Yeah, this one I cannot, the message couldn't be sent due to receiver's settings. We will resend the message once they update their permissions. So I think she has to accept for that message to be delivered. I don't know what Substack is, so I guess we're gonna go there and try to get a hold of her. Hopefully it does not cost me. I think a lot of people are just following her to see what she's going to say. All right. We're on Substack. I got to enter in my email. Yeah, you have to pay. Oh, wait, no, you don't. There we go. If you want to see, like, all of her stuff, you have to pay it. But there is a free option that we just got. I cannot message her because that's for subscribers only. I do not have money to subscribe to her chat. There's apparently people talking to her right now as we speak, but I cannot see that because I am not a paid subscriber. I just want to look at if she has any public posts. Here we go. The presumption of innocence is a sacred right afforded to all individuals arrested in this country. That is not an opinion, it is a fact. We are plagued by a rush to judgment before someone even steps foot into a courtroom. Once a verdict is read, however long the process takes, the public must trust that the system worked the way it was intended. You are entitled to your opinions, not your own set of facts. You, as a general public, will never know the full facts of a case. The media will never tell you the full truth. They will tell you what you think and how to feel. Educate yourselves. Stop spreading hate. If tomorrow you woke up and were arrested accused of a crime that you did not commit or someone close to you were to be, wouldn't you want for you or them to be treated fairly and just? It's not that complicated. That is from her. We got another one. Being a legal advocate is something incredibly important, not only to me individually and professionally, but for the sake of our current legal climate. There is a constant rush to judgment. The rights of the many are compromised by the elected few. People are not only unaware of their rights, but most of the time they aren't even aware that they are giving them away so freely without consent. Do you know who you would call today if something catastrophic occurred in your life or in the life of someone you care for? And then I like how we have the fake Casey Anthony in here right now. We are living in a time where we are told by political heads of state that we can say and do what we please, and with the help of social media, people tend to act accordingly. Unfortunately, with the current political climate, we are coming to find out that this is simply a facade. Many of us knew this long ago, but more individuals are finding out the hard way. Free speech is not truly free. Having the right to speak your piece does not give you the true privilege to say whatever the fuck you want. Now more than ever, your privacy and your words are not safe. Every single thing that you say can be used against you, regardless of your intentions. Intentions in the eye of the law do matter. So simply a reminder, what you say matters, and the intention behind the things you say also matters. Those are the only 3 public posts that I see.
Alright, dude. Go trip over a knife.
Yeah, there's not much on Substack for me because I can't afford to be. I'm not gonna pay to, follow anybody if I'm being honest. Tell you where to sign. Sign what? I was gonna say that's not the real Casey Anthony.
Alright, dude.
I tried to message the real Casey Anthony, and she doesn't allow people to message her. I can't just pull anybody up in a box. I think they have to request to be in the box. But why isn't she on her account? Why is she on this fake account? If that's her, then. She said, so her backup account, the Casey Anthony Substack 2, was supposed to go live. I got a notification this morning that it was canceled, and then somebody came in and said she was live. I went to go check. She was not live on any of them, and as a matter of fact, the backup account is now gone. I tried messaging, I tried commenting, and I can't. I was going to have her come and tell her side of the story on my live, but... If this is really you, why does it say you're Illuminati? I feel like the real Casey Anthony wouldn't have a name such as that, or in their bio, like, advertising Illuminati. Just saying. Yeah, why don't you come on your main account if you're the real Casey Anthony? Yeah. I'm going to pull your account up right now, actually. I gotta search it up by that name. That you didn't even spell organization right. You have the same videos, the same 2 videos from Casey Anthony's main account, and then you have ice or some type of skating video and something about a deer in an ocean or something, and that's about it. You're following 1,460 people. You only have 2,678 followers, 2,059 likes. I am not going to follow you. And the real Casey Anthony is only following 1 person. And I do not have a guest request, so if you're saying that you sent a guest request, then you lied. So, bye. With your fake account. I'm also going to be reporting it. Just going to put that out there. Can you turn the air off?
Yeah.
Because I've been cold since I woke up. You didn't turn the heat on when you went to work this morning.
By the way, I've been to a live stream.
You have?
Yeah, I seen that fake account.
Yeah, they're still commenting. I just reported their fake account.
Casey Anthony only has one account.
She had two. The backup just got taken down. TikTok took it down.
That wasn't her account.
It wasn't?
No. Her main account literally said this is my only account.
Okay, I was just making sure. And they said she was live or something.
No.
Oh, now I have a guest request. I don't know who that is, though.
Let me show you. So this is her actual account.
I know. I'm following her on that and on Substack.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying. This is my only account.
I'm aware. What it says, babe.
I'm just saying, that's why I know she doesn't have a backup account.
Babe.
What?
Do you want me to accept it? Any of these? You're in my live, right? So you can, take people down if need be.
Well, I was getting ready to go back into your live stream.
The one that's claiming to be Casey Anthony just now sent the guest request.
Well, I can tell you now that's not her.
Well, get into my live, because if it's not, I'm going to need you to get rid of them. You know how to do that, right?
Oh, yeah, I know how to get rid of them.
Okay.
Trust me, I'm in. I do boxes all the time, so I know exactly
Let me know when you're in it. I'll accept.
Yeah, I'm already in it.
They can see you. Oh, no, they're looking at the party. Casey Anthony is a distant cousin of my ex. Oh my god. Lost prayer.
You there?
In a heartbeat. I'm comfortable in front of the camera. I love to do, to talk to people. I love it. But it's not going that way for me. It's not going anywhere for me.
Yeah, that's your recording.
Saying earlier on
I can't hear it. I have to turn my thing up.
Here. Casey Anthony comes on.
They got their mic muted.
Yeah, that's a recording.
You can drop them because...
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, this for sure ain't a real account, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I may help, but I guess I can't. Can I not do it?
I would just mute them because they're gonna come back. If you just mute the account, they'll come back with another picture saying, "Oh, this is her."
Yeah.
I
just thought I'd come up and say that. That ain't her.
Yeah. Kind of figured.
I'm blocking them anyway.
All right, have a good day.
You too.
Yeah, that's not her account. So.
I do not know how to make my screen big again. I'm so sorry. Have you figured that out?
Somewhat. Because I've done it on mine before.
What are you looking for?
There's...
What are you looking for?
Is it enhanced? No, it's not in that one either.
What are you looking for? I can tell you.
There's a screen that pops up and it'll give you the option for the guessing stuff. Well, that person didn't want to come up, obviously.
Yeah, I was about to accept, and then... Why does it keep showing the TV when I move that way? Where's the little girl who said they knew all the facts? What? Are we talking about? I like how it says you muted Casey. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't do a fake account.
Even though it was a fake account. Yeah.
That's one thing I don't do with them on my stream.
Okay, hang on. We have a request. So. Oh, let me get my phone on charge as well.
God, chill.
I know the dogs and cats are crazy. Babe,
What?
come here.
What's the plan of having it on my phone is
Okay, I'm gonna put it like that because it keeps showing my thing. I need my phone plugged in, though, they're saying, because.
because I'm probably gonna get hate on mine if I do a live stream like this.
Why? Dude, for like the past, I want to say, this is the most people I've had probably.
Oh, I know. Because I don't tolerate people hating on other people.
My PS5 is going to enter rest mode in 9 minutes.
Especially when people don't have all the evidence and facts to make claims that they're making.
Oh, it goes right. Well, I know why you said you would get hate, but.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're good, Kev.
I look at hate.
Yeah, because you're on her side.
But no, I'm not on her
Technically.
side. I just
Well, can you get the window?
I support people who get so much daggone hate, just like I supported you, Gypsy, and other people who have gotten such hate.
I do get a lot of hate. I do.
What'd you ask for? What'd you ask?
The window. Not only did you, like, kind of fuck it up last night, but here's these. Put this way because I don't know what happened here.
Because people make all kinds of assumptions without actually knowing, you know, actual information.
You're good. It happens.
But that's okay. I don't mind getting hate. That just shows other people's ignorance.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's much more on Casey Anthony apart from that, if I'm being honest. We went over her biography. We touched up on what she was charged with, acquitted of, and sentenced for. Yeah. You know, and then we had the rando in here that claimed to be her. So. If there's anything else we can touch up on today.
Alright, dude. Go.
Movies and books are out there. Yeah, I know there's documentaries. I just don't know if I have the time. I mean, I probably do have the time to, like, be on live watching a documentary. That's not the case. It's just, I don't want to be on live all day just discussing Casey Anthony. You know, like, I'll probably do it, like, my plan for my account is, I want to do more podcasts kind of like this. I want to do more, you know, like, because I'm going to go live every day. Weekends, I'm going to try to take a break, but on, like, Saturday, Sundays, unless it's something that, and you know, like, if I'm bored or whatever, and I don't have really anything going on, then I'll come on. I you know, I'm sponsored here on TikTok, so, yeah, for people who want more information, yes. So if you guys do have something that you want me to touch on or kind of make, you know, people kind of aware of, like, you know, there's like a serial killer out there or something that nobody's heard of that you think's interesting, or, you know, I've touched a little bit on the Ash Trevino topic. I've touched on Casey Anthony. I think I am going to be kind of done with the Casey Anthony stuff after today.
Alright, dude. Go trip.
Because there's not really much more to touch on. unless something comes up and she makes another post that I can kind of discuss on, or you know what I mean. There's really nothing more to talk about with her. At the end of the day, I don't think we'll ever know what really happened, but yeah. It is 9:30 a.m. my time here in South Carolina. I am going to go ahead and jump off the live. You are free to shoot me a message if there is a topic you wish for me to talk about. I will be live again tomorrow morning. You guys have a lovely day. Goodbye. Stay safe.